I guess I would say I'm a bit of a humanist. But let me clarify what humanism and being a humanist is, because a lot of people that I've talked with who don't really understand humanism think that it's like godless and thinks that it's all about the human being and a rejection of God. And I'm telling you right now, okay, I gave a sermon. Okay, I gave a sermon. Yes, I did. I gave a sermon in my church. My pastor, who I was very close with, he was like, "I want you to give a sermon." And so I gave a sermon in church, etc., etc. It was about like how we can find stillness in life and how we can. I think the title of the sermon was um, uh, "Cutting Out the White Noise," something along those lines. Anyway, and I was sitting in psychology class with Professor Levine, who's just an amazing professor. Um, and we were talking about Carl Rogers, kind of the founder of humanist psychology. And here's why I believe in humanism and humanist psychology and all that stuff, because it's not a rejection of God. What it is the focus on the human, the individual's capacity for self-actualization. Okay? And as soon as he began lecturing about this topic, I knew that it was something for me. You know, when you just hear something or you see something and you know it's part of you, you know it's on your wavelength. You know what I'm saying? And I was thinking about it, and I was like, yes, because that's what we're all doing. We're all looking for we're all trying to self-actualize. And what we need to do in order to self-actualize is we need to gain consciousness of the things that we're doing that are correct and the things that we're doing that are incorrect, that are facilitating and inhibiting our self-actualization. You know, Carl Rogers talks about the OAT, the organismic actualization tendency, and the SAT, the self-actualization tendency. And the biggest kind of hindrance to self-actualization is what he calls conditions of worth. And what conditions of worth are is basically just the demands and all of the requirements that are the external demands and requirements that the world and that individuals, family, friends, society, whatever, puts on you. And what I mean by that is something like this. Okay? Something like, oh, well, you're not thin enough. Oh, well, you don't have the bone structure that's, what we're looking for. Or, if you don't act this way or you don't play this sport, then I'm not going to love you as a son. Or, you know what, if you don't act like a hoe and sleep with me now, then I'm not going to date you. It's all of these external forces that impede upon our ability to self-actualize. And so, that's really, there's a lot of complexities to the humanist psychology, et cetera, et cetera. But that's it in a nutshell. And so what I'm doing is I plan on taking that belief in self-actualizing with me. I'm going to take that with me. And that's going to be an element, I'm telling you right now, of my show. Is how can I mobilize my youth culture, the generation, the culture that I'm a part of, to begin thinking about how can I work toward being more of myself, doing what I love, being who I am, and still, appreciating the present. Appreciating the present, but preparing for the future. And that's why I'm always wary of when people say, oh, I want to go out and party, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, I love a good time too. I want to sit back with my friends and, enjoy a movie or have a dance party. I love dance parties. But it's like, you can't just, everything in life will not be a good time. Life will never be calm. And you will never be completely on top of everything that you have to do. But it's being able to recognize that and to go with the flow. To be like water, and be able to enjoy the present but prepare for the future, and know that you can self-actualize, and it is possible for you to be who you are. Growing up is so hard. It's so hard. It's hard being an adolescent. It's hard going through puberty. It's hard being in high school and in middle school. And so what I'm trying to do in my own little way is help that process along. That's all I'm trying to do.